Hello! Welcome to a different kind of video. In this video, we are going to talk about Patreon. Specifically Darkside Phil's. I will compare his Patreon to other Patreon pages that I know of. I'm going to compare him to an artist I know and to Mega64's Patreon. And by the end of this video, I do hope that you understand that I'm not saying that it's wrong to support DSP or whatever. I mean, if you want to support him, that's fine. I am just trying to convey that I think his Patreon is the most expensive Patreon and that you get nothing out of that warrants the price. And I feel that he can handle this Patreon differently that will be most likely better, a better experience than the one that we have right now. So let's get started. Let's talk about his goals. He only has one goal, which is, right off the bat. To me, goals should be for something that, you get either something big out of, or you get like or that's like a project that you want to fund, but you don't have, you can't fund it. Like it's kind of like a way to self-fund a project you want to do. Like, for example, Mega64 has version 4 as one of the Patreon goals. Same thing with like a book that they want to make. And it's also fine to have like equipment in it, like, oh, we want to get better equipment and have like that be a goal. And Phil did that with the camera, but then he canceled the camera for some weird reason. I don't remember what reason why he got rid of it, but I guess it was because he wasn't reaching the goal at the pace that he wants. But the whole point of goals is that it isn't meant to reach per month. It's supposed to go on for like a long time. Because they're stretch goals basically. They're supposed to build up in time. They're not meant to, have a finite ending to them. But he, which is weird because he kind of treats it like a Kickstarter, and it's kind of not. But first off, let's look at this goal. We're gonna go for the goal for this month, because you already know my stance on the Patreon appreciation, which was a ripoff because he could have done that for free. But I'll get into a little bit more of that as we go on to this video once we get to the rewards. So let's look at his goals. His goal, I should say. For this one, it's a Patreon, patron's choice, which is that, people get to vote for games, they get to nominate games and vote for them. So you have to reach to 1250, and here's the issue with this. Let's say that I want him to play Skullgirls Second Encore. I would donate to this. I would donate to make sure that this goal is hit. So not only am I paying money to submit a game, I'm also paying money for him to vote. So I would have to not only wait for the goal to clear, but then I would have to hope for other patrons to vote for my game. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with voting for games or for having a raffle, but the issue is that you have to get to the total of 1250 for that. That isn't gonna be worth it because I might pay like $200 or $1,000 or however much money to get to get the goal reached, and then to not only do that but to also vote for my title and to submit it. It would be shitty if I paid, like, let's say I paid $300 towards the goal, and then I submitted Skullgirls Second Encore, but someone who paid $5 nominated Call of Duty Black Ops 5 or whatever game that they want to vote for, and that game beats out my game. He paid less, but he got the game that he wanted, but I paid more, and then I didn't get the game that I voted for because everyone did not vote for it. That's why it should just be a reward for this kind of goal, because for a reward it would be fine. Like, so let's get into the rewards because you kind of know where I land with these goals. This goal should be more obtainable or something that's more worthwhile. That's gonna please everyone. That would be something that everyone would want. This would only please certain people. It's not going to please everyone because not everyone would want the game. Like, I'm sure there are people who didn't want to play Persona 3, and Persona 3 ended up winning, and they ended up being mad because their game did not win the voting. So let's go to the rewards, and I'll show you why his goals should be a little bit more structured. To be maybe like he could do a show on KO Gaming or DSP Gaming or somewhere that he wouldn't normally do, and that might require some actual like funding. Like he could do something with the green screen, or he could hire people or something. He could do something with the goal instead of just doing this nonsense that he could just make into rewards. So let's get into it. The $1 reward, it's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a thank you for a $1 reward. That's kind of base. That's a basic thing for $1. For $1. Now $5. Now here's where I would have retooled this entire thing. First off, let's talk about the goal itself. So let's criticize this goal for what it is. Patrons who donate $5 or more a month will receive an exclusive forum title and section to post in on my website. That already should be reworded to and section to post on my website, but he didn't do that. In addition, you'll be included in the nomination voting process when patron goal milestones are hit. You will be part of the decision process on what gets played during multiple events. In the past, these have included games for my best and worst of DSP Classic series, patrons' choice game playthroughs, and which game songs, etc. that I play during mini marathon events. So I guess for the best and worst series he does for DSP Gaming, I guess that is something that his viewers vote, which is kind of weird because usually you'd expect the YouTuber to pick himself, like figure out his own list than just his fans. But whatever, it is what it is. But the thing is right here, and this is a recurring event, blah blah blah. You get really nothing. Like if I don't go to his forum and I don't want to make a forum account, this is already useless to me. I don't care about the title and I don't get that. The rest of it depends on the goal. So if the goal isn't hit, I'm paying $5 for ultimately nothing. Unless the goal is hit. So, this doesn't really affect me. And also, like, this is what's wrong with also voting, is that it requires you to be part of the King of Hate. If it was a raffle, like if it was a random raffle, you could just email him your game, and then just have that be your token. You don't have to have a forum entry for that. So really, what he should do for his $5 reward would just remove that and just have it be like once a month he plays a game, and that wins a raffle. So like people pay $5, enter a game that they want, and DSP will do a raffle at the end of each month, and whatever ends up winning, he plays it. He plays that game like once a month or whatever. So right there you give people an incentive to email you, keep in contact with you, and you also open it for the forums as well. But at least give them your email address to send their game that they want you to play, etc. See, that would work better for a $5 pledge than this, because that gives people more of an incentive to donate $5 because they get an instant reward instead of making one giant reward and tiny little things that don't mean anything for people. It means this may not please everyone, so they're either going to pay $1 or they would have to pay more money to get something that they would want. So this is just a garbage reward, to be honest. That could have been completely better. And to apply it to multiplayer, see, the thing that I didn't understand why I needed 1250 was that he can make a private lobby for free. Private lobbies have always existed. You can make the party restricted as well. So he could have just had people pay $5 for spots, only $5, not make it into a goal, and just do once a month a multiplayer event to play with patrons who have a reserved spot for $5, etc., etc. Like you see how that makes the $5 pledge more desirable in that regard, that it's more than that it can stand on its own, and it gives you something for pledging that much. This doesn't really give you much of a reward. It just gives you kind of like this fluff stuff. But let's get on to his $10 reward. Patrons who donate $10 or more a month not only will get perks below this level, but will receive a verbal thank you shout out. This should also be in the $5 tier. because that to me is a natural progression from a text thank you to a verbal thank you. So that should have been the $5. That should have been part of the $5, not its own reward. That is kind of pointless. The $10 one is actually the worst one out of this. I mean, the $5 one is pretty bad, but $10 is probably the worst because you get virtually nothing out of it. You pay double the price and you get less than you get with the $5 perk. So there's really no reason to get the $10 other than you want to hear DSP say your name, which is pointless because when he does Ask the King, he says the name of the people who asked him those questions that aren't patrons anyway. So you could just do that. So then we go to $20. Patrons will have priority access to Ask the King. This could have been the $10 perk. If this was $10, it would have been better. It being 20 is pointless, especially since he isn't a famous YouTuber. He isn't famous, so him charging $20 for this is ludicrous, and you get nothing out of it. And he adds these guidelines that he doesn't even enforce. So you can ask him about sex, you ask him about politics and all that kind of stuff, and he'll answer it. He won't care because he answered these questions before in the past. So this is kind of a pointless reward as well. That could have just been $10 easily. And then the 51 is you get a private Ask the King, but it's only a one-time perk. So I guess what this means is that once you pay $50, you get only one personalized video, and you never get it again if you pledge $50 the next month. And that is also kind of shitty because this should be a recurring perk if you're going to be charging $50. Or this should really be $20 to $30. This shouldn't be $50. Everything in this page is expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. You get nothing for the amount you pay for. And this is the problem that Phil has with his Patreon. That's why it's dropping every month. That's why there's a lot of patrons dropping, because they probably pay for the $50 perk, and then they lower their pledge because what else are they gonna get? It's a one-time perk you get for $50. Why would you ever go back to paying $50 if you don't get this more than once? So this already is a waste of money right here to pay for one time, and it already has a finite income because not a lot of people are gonna pay $50 if it's a one-time perk. So if this was ongoing, it would have lasted longer and it would have been a bigger cash cow. But instead, it's a one-time perk. So that's ridiculous. I don't like how he handles his Patreon. It's very sketchy, and this is why people are calling him a con artist when he brings up his Patreon, because he gives you nothing for what you pay for. His goal is crap. This goal could be a reward that it could be like for $5. He doesn't need $12.50 to do this at all. So let's move on to an artist's Patreon. This person, I followed them on Tumblr. She has a Tumblr. She does have a Twitter, but she doesn't really post there. She has an Instagram, but I kind of follow her art. Her art is really good. I know it through fan art, obviously, but she also has her own original art as well. As you can see, this is an original character that she made. This goal is just to pay the bills and to cover life necessities, which is fine for an artist. That's fine. Because they do need money to pay the bills, and art isn't really a very lucrative business, so this doesn't really bother me as much. I mean, yeah, there could be better. There are probably artists that would probably do better. I mean, this is like, she did 500 that she'll share how I go about things in my art, such as coloring, how-tos, examples, eyes, anatomy, etc., color correction, and more. So she reached that, so she has been doing some of that. 300 is more time to live stream for you guys, more time-lapse videos as a result. So she does do live streams. She hasn't done any time-lapse videos, unfortunately. Not a lot of them anyway, but this is what it is. I don't mind that she doesn't do much of that because art is a very, very time occupying thing. So I'm not really as harsh as to her as I was with Phil when all he does is play video games. 500 was just that, color correction, all that. This was making this mark would cover my rent, monthly necessities would be super great, and I guess she just happened to reach 1,300. But I guess that's just more of covering basic necessities. Her goals could be whatever, but I think for a Patreon, the way that she's handling it is fine because she wants people to mostly pay for the rewards that she gives because that's pretty much where people get their incentives from. So let's go over her incentives. $1 is a thank you, which is fine. I don't mind having $1 pledges to being just thank yous, be it here or text. I don't really care because it's $1. You get what you get with $1. $6, I think here is really where you get um, the worth of her Patreon. Um, you get access to all her exclusive sketches, works in progresses that she's working on. Before I finish and publish them publicly, so you get kind of an advanced access to her art, including sketches I may not have not published at all, aka lost sketches, along with not safe for work goodies that are not publicly posted. She also would give you HD quality with a good print size, 300 DPI, downloads of all art posts, so you can download all the things that she had with that good quality. Then if you cannot find a post that she has that you can't find, you can email her and she'll email back to you, I guess. And then you get 10% off all of her future commissions when they're open. So that's actually pretty good. Commissions are just you paying an artist to do something that you want them to do. So there you go. For $10, you get everything from the above, plus a 15% discount on her commissions when they're open. You get to participate in a monthly full-color sketch commission raffle. Request a character, and you and other patrons' choices will be put through a random number generator to determine the winner. So that's self-explanatory. Coloring is a bitch. So you kind of they says you want $20, you get all of that. You get 20% off. You get to participate in that raffle, and you get raw Photoshop files, SCI files, and other work and you can kind of deconstruct her work yourself, which is actually kind of nice. It's actually a nice perk for inspiring artists. So this is really for people who want to really learn her technique and see how she operates. And then for this is you get a nice buff, you get like a raffle, and then here you just get like all the basic things. So this honestly is worth it alone. Because I can tell you this is actually a very attractive rewards. I mean, when I was looking at her Patreon, this alone made me almost want to donate to her. And this isn't a plug or a paid advertisement. I just want to go over why other people's patrons are better than Phil's. You get more out of this than Phil. And see, she already reaches 1342 per month. That's more than Phil is making right now. Even before this, he was making 1250. She's making a little bit over his but it's still enough to be to be whatever. But it's still a lot of money. So let's go on to the final example I want to show you. Mega64. They have a YouTube channel. Check them out. They're pretty funny. See, they already changed their backdrop. So I don't know what DSP's excuse was again, but see, they changed their photo. They make 6,885, and they have 879 patrons. But here's where it gets interesting. When you look at their goals, let's go to their first goal, which is reached for 1,000. They would improve their podcast with better quality and better sound. But see, that was 1,000 for a better camera and better sound. I mean, yeah, they have other sources of where they get their income, like from YouTube and from their store. But see, it's 1,000, so it kind of gives you an idea as how they really just want to use Patreon supplementary. They want to add it to their source of income. I mean, they don't want to like kind of pressure people into donating there, but but these goals are decently priced goals. I mean, $1,000 for this is understandable, okay, and it's cheaper than what Phil's camera was. And here you're gonna get a better sound and a camera out of 1,000. While Phil, I think his camera goal was like 3,000 something, from what I remember. But I remember it being expensive, so that's whatever. Then here's their version 4 movie that they want to work on. But see, and they also released a trailer that they did for free. They didn't have to No one had to pay for a trailer. They uploaded a trailer for free, and they were able to do it. And if this is funded, people can still watch it for free online. So if you did not donate to this, you can either buy it on DVD or Blu-ray, whichever physical media they're gonna do it on, and you'll get it on YouTube for free. So here, or they're gonna stream it on their Twitch channel for free. So they have it for free for everyone to watch it, or you can just buy it through their store. But this is a decently priced, because making a movie, I can understand, would cost a lot of money, and this is understandable, and they're almost reaching it. To me, this is a modest budget for it, and it's fine because these people don't really like pocket money either, and then they also want to do a book. But see, these are long-term goals that they have that they're waiting until they reach it. They're not gonna like, okay, if you don't make it by the end of June, it's done. I mean, these are goals that are gonna be going on until they're reached. So there you go. But let's go over their rewards. Let's go over it. So for $1, if you pay $1, you enter a sweepstakes to win a physical gift, and you get access to their Friend Dimension bi-weekly series. So and when you donate $1, you get access to their past episodes as well of Friend Dimension. And Friend Dimension is just them playing video games together, which is fine. I don't mind that being a Patreon thing. At first, when they announced it, I was a little pissed because they did have Friend Dimension on their channel for free, because they did have a mini series pitched for Patreon, which was Reach. So they were like, okay, we're gonna do Friend Dimension as part of this Patreon mini series. But then they decided to make it a Patreon only show, which is, to me, fine. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And for $1, it's fair. It's a fair price. So you'll be entered into our special monthly sweepstakes. We will pick the winner on our podcast at the end of each month. The winners will receive a gift package similar to our third tier bundle, plus a special one-of-a-kind prop token or memorabilia item from a Mega 64 video. So yet a piece of merch from the video that they make. So see, this is already like a good reward, better than Phil's. To compare to YouTubers, this is a better perk, because you get a physical item that they will ship internationally, and you get a Friend Dimension. So you get two things for $1. And you get a thank you, because technically. Well, Phil, you just get a thank you for $1. And same with the artist. I mean, it's not terrible to get a thank you for $1. That's not really a ripoff, but here you get more for it, which is great, which is insane. I mean, this alone might get people to actually donate. I mean, already 359 people donate, so they already made $359 off of this, basically. Their second tier, you get that, and you will get a small thank you package every 3 months. Inside this package will be an exclusive poster available only to our patrons, an exclusive seasonal mini calendar, and a rare exclusive small item such as a Mega 64 button or a sticker. Note: international patrons outside of the United States must contribute to at least $12, or we can't send you anything, because of shipping costs. But see, Phil, when people ask him about international shipping, he always says no because of shipping costs. While Mega 64 is like, hey, you have to pay $2 more because of shipping, but we'll send it internationally, and that is fine. It's okay to charge more internationally because of that shipping. So I don't mind I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. I mean, that's at least understandable because that's an understandable fee. But Phil would probably make that more expensive. It would go from 12 to probably like 20. You'd probably have to pay $20 for international shipping from him, while they're doing it for like $2 more. They'd pay $2 more to do that. And already this has 248 patrons, so there you go. Their last tier, the third tier, you get everything from the first two. Tier 3 patrons will receive an exclusive large fan item such as a variant Mega 64 hat design, a Sarnotech coffee mug, a Falls tote bag, a Hunkty Crunkty replica bandana, etc. Most of these, I don't know about Sarnotech, but Falls and Hunkty Crunkty are all inside jokes with Mega 64, so this is pretty much for their hardcore fans. Tier 3 patrons will also receive an exclusive small fan item, such as an enamel pin or a postcard. Each of these exclusive items will be themed to be straight from the Mega 64 universe. So this is for like hardcore fans of Mega 64. This is for like semi-core, people who are like into Mega 64 that might not be able to afford the $24 one, or may not want to pay $24. $1 is just a for everyone. This is for everyone. So each tier is actually, you get a lot out of each tier. So this is already a good deal. No one's getting ripped off with these tiers, and the prices are actually pretty fair. So you get more out of this than you get out of Phil's Patreon. I mean, just think about it. You get like physical goods for $24. So there you go. That's it for this video. See you.